We're gonna get to third base with Kate.
Please be advised, the following presentation is not intended for minors.
A whole bunch of revelations happen. Turns out Kate isn't actually Kate. She's Shining Nova in disguise, aka Paladin Iron Man, as I like to call it. And as that happens, the main character Stan decided to join her and actually become a good guy. So that's where we're at right now. We're currently in Shining Nova's home base. So yeah, now that you're caught up, let's get into the story, shall we?
Ugh, just been a long 24 hours. You know that.
Oh yeah, I really hear that. Okay, so separating this a little bit, I did a bit of research in between streams. Not only that, but I binge watched the entirety of Dragon Ball Z Abridged for the first time. Yes, I'm 15 years too late. How are these connected? Well, believe it or not, the writer slash producer of this game, who also voices Stan and Lord Bedlam, is I can never remember his goddamn username because it's like some Chinese sounding thing. He is the voice of Tien, Raccoon, Jace, and Android 17 in Dragon Ball Z Abridged. That is why this game's writing is so good. It's straight up written by members of the Dragon Ball Z Abridged team, of Team 4-Star. That is amazing. Like, he's not the only one in this. Like, Antfish is in this as well. Like, who voices Dodoria and also does JoJo Abridged. He's both Dave, our supervisor, and Antonio, the cafeteria chef. That's amazing. So yeah, that's why this game is so good. But yeah, if you've seen Dragon Ball Z Abridged, you can probably pick that up. Stan sounds a lot like Android 17. I shift into a sitting position and glance over at Victoria. She's sitting cross-legged on the floor nearby, an array of parts and tools scattered around her. She seems to be building or repairing something. Before I can see what it is, she casually moves it behind her back. I think about asking, but find myself more following a different train of thought.
I think you're the weird one with all this energy after the day we've had. Where's it coming from? Don't tell me you gave yourself an atomic heart or something.
Nah, wrong franchise.
No way. Miss me with that cyborg stuff. That'd be hard enough even with a well-funded team, much less operating on myself like some kind of back-alley cyberpunk surgeon. Also, technically, a cybernetic heart wouldn't have anything to do with sleep, so...
Yes, well, technically, actually, indubitably,
yes.
you're too intellectually superior for sleep.
Oh, shut up. I'm just used to it. A good 4-ish hours of rest and a jug of caffeine is all I need to keep my engines purring.
God, I wish I was like that.
That's gotta catch up to you sooner or later, though, right?
Maybe, but I've got all my chips on later. As for now...
Victoria pops up from the floor, still concealing the item she was working on. Briefly, she tries to sweep the remaining tools and parts under the coffee table with her feet. Doesn't really work, but I pretend not to notice.
I hope you're feeling rested. Because I've got something cool to show you. Come on.
Victoria starts walking backwards, a spring in her step, and her hands hidden behind her back. She looks like she's fighting the urge to skip.
You're making me nervous with all this enthusiasm. Is this some kind of prank?
Oh, come on! Would I ever
Hello,
deceive
nurse.
you? Actually, don't answer that. Just get your butt over here. You'll like it. I promise.
She beckons me over with one hand while the other continues to keep her surprise out of sight. With a sigh of resignation, I start to follow her across the room.
When we take down Madam Scorpion, Dynamo and I will do most of the heavy lifting. But there's still a good chance that you'll have to enter a combat situation. Or, at the very least, need to defend yourself. Honestly, after seeing you in action, I can say you're a cut above your average mook. But this is going to be a lot tougher than you're used to. They'll have the numbers, and then there's Scorpion.
So we come to a stop in the apartment's home gym. It's padded floor beneath our feet.
Is this leading to a sweet martial arts training montage? Because if so, I have a few suggestions for the soundtrack. What are your thoughts on synthwave post-punk?
What, in a day? Oh, hell no. Your footwork alone would take months to correct. You do this weird tippy-tap thing like an excited dog, and, well, it's a mess down there.
Oof.
Sorry, that sounded too harsh. What I mean is that we don't have the time to upgrade your software. So instead, we're going to upgrade your hardware. Close your eyes.
Another butt-grabbing excuse?
Yet another excuse to grab my butt. These are getting paper thin now, I've gotta tell ya. Paper thin.
Yeah, well, the excuses might be thin, but that ass sure isn't.
Damn!
Ha! I knew it! I knew you were tempted. Can't blame you, I put a lot of work into it. By work, I mostly mean sitting on it, but sometimes I do a squat or two.
She likes that butt.
Just shut up and close your eyes, doofus.
Fine, fine.
I close my eyes and let out a deep breath. I hear Victoria slowly step forward. She's close, maybe a step away when she finally stops. For a second, I hear and feel nothing but my own heartbeat, and I feel her fingers graze the back of my left hand, hesitating for just a moment before gently grabbing it and guiding it upward.
Hold your hand out, just like this, alright?
Alright.
Her hand moves to my wrist, and I hear the whir of machinery as something cold and heavy slips over my hand. Even through my glove, I can tell it's metallic. Victoria guides my arm through the mysterious object. By the time it stops, Victoria's hand is on my elbow, and the metal object is enclosed in my forearm.
You might feel a pinch.
Give me a S, give me a I, give me a M, give me a P, shut up. Suddenly, the metal object clamps down tighter, but thanks to Victoria's assurance, I resist the urge to flinch. Much.
There. Okay, you can open your eyes.
The aliens got Stan, oh no. Yo, arm cannon, sick. I opened my eyes to find Victoria smiling up at me, with one hand still steadying my left arm. It's now adorned in the futuristic half gauntlet painted white, blue, and gold, shining Nova's colors. Her colors.
Well, how does it feel?
Snug, but not too tight. Honestly, it's, well...
Perfect, right?
I rotate my arm to inspect the other side, but the gauntlet doesn't shift or rattle. It's like a tailored suit.
Yeah. Perfect. How'd you do it?
When's the wedding?
I got your measurements while you were asleep, obviously.
Okay, little weird.
Right. Obviously.
See, I turn my attention away from the gauntlet and look her in the eye.
Thank you, Victoria. I mean it.
You're welcome, Stan.
Silence hangs. Victoria opens her mouth to speak, but only a sharp breath comes out. 3 heartbeats pass before she finally tears her gaze away from mine, abruptly fussing over the gauntlet.
Anyway, this isn't just a piece of jewelry. Not only does it bring out your eyes, but it's got a lot of practical functionality. Here, let me show you.
See, she grasps the gauntlet in one hand and my bicep in the other, raising my arm so that it's aimed outward. The adjustment brings us closer, like we're practicing a dance instead.
First, always aim with your entire arm, not just your wrist or forearm, and try to bring it to eye level when you can. Like this. Now, when you're ready, quickly touch your thumb to your middle finger, then your ring finger.
Got it. Middle, ring...
As soon as I complete the motion, a small cannon emerges from the gauntlet. I feel a device slide into my palm. I twitch a little in surprise, but Victoria steadies my hand.
Holy shit. Is this like one of yours?
It's closer to the one I had this morning than one on my suit, but it still packs a punch, so be careful. That mechanism in your palm is the trigger. When you don't need it, you can retract it with the same finger pattern.
Same pattern. That's middle finger, then ring finger, right?
I repeat the motion, and the cannon retracts.
There you go, just like that. You're a natural.
She looks back at me. Our eyes meet, and the silence hangs once more. This time I lose count of the heartbeats that pass before either of us can break it.
There's more to show you.
Right, yeah, of course.
We break eye contact and each take a step back.
So,
That was weirdly
this
intimate.
might be a weird thing to ask, but Do you remember what we talked about during that tour of Lord Bedlam's lair?
That was 2 weeks ago, Victoria.
We talked about a lot of stuff, didn't we? Did you mean something
The
specific?
fan fiction? As we talk, I notice that Victoria has deliberately backed up several steps. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, actually, it was near the start of the tour. You told me where you went to college, and then...
Yeah, we talked about how you got into engineering, right? Building stuff in the garage with your dad and all that? You've, moved pretty far beyond that, haven't you?
Yes and no. You could say I just moved the garage into my living room is all. But do you remember my other bit of inspiration? You know, that old show we both used to watch?
What was that show called?
Oh, right. I totally forgot that you were down with the
That's
OG
what it was.
herself. Bethany Britannica, girl genius.
As soon as the words leave my mouth, the gauntlet hums with energy. Then, in a flash of light, a glowing blue shield bursts to life around it.
Holy shit!
I flail my arm out of instinct, as if to shake the shield right off of it. But it's futile. It's attached to the gauntlet, much like Madame Scorpion's energy sword is attached to its hilt. In fact, it might be made of the same stuff. I move my arm and down, examining the shield as it moves. It's semi-transparent and weightless, like a hologram. Cautiously, I reach out and give it a tap. It feels solid.
It'll take a lot more than that to get through. Trust me. You couldn't crack this thing with a 50 cal. I
Damn.
mean, it would knock you right on your ass, but it wouldn't
True.
get penetration. Should block Scorpion's sword, too. Just say those magic words, and presto! Instant protection. And if you say them again...
To be fair, it's quite a long activation code.
Bethany Britannica, girl genius.
The shield retracts back into the gauntlet.
Wow, that's... I wasn't expecting it, but that definitely makes me feel a lot less, you know, disposable.
I lower the gauntlet and turn to Victoria. Can't believe she just whipped this up for me. Even if she had some spare equipment lying around to work with, it's impressive. More than that, it's just really nice. I open my mouth to say thanks, but Victoria stops me with a gesture.
Don't thank me yet. I have one last thing to show you.
She slowly steps forward. Oh, hello. Reaches into her pocket. At first, I think it could be another gadget. But when her hand emerges, it appears to be a small slip of paper.
I know you don't really need this, but...
She continues to step forward until she's as close as she was when she was teaching me how to use the gauntlet. Closer even. Only then does she show me what's on the slip. The slip of paper, a name tag with Stan written on it.
I figured it was appropriate.
She grins, peels off the name tag with a flourish, and places it on my chest, right over my henchman identification number.
Yeah, I guess it is.
My eyes move up from the name tag and stop on Victoria's. I don't even bother counting heartbeats this time, but I do notice that her hand hasn't left my chest.
I can't believe you did all this. And I really can't believe that you made Bethany Britannica, girl genius, the activation code for that shield.
Yeah, like I said, it seems a bit too long. In like the heat of combat, that's gonna be very. She laughs, a mixture of mirth and mischief.
Come on, I had to make something mildly embarrassing about it after all that "let me tell you something" rookie crap. Besides, that was really the first time we met. I mean, sure, we'd seen each other on the job, but that was when I felt like we met each other.
The lack of tranquilizers helped.
Wait, you mean Neko? No.
Well, sure, but I haven't talked about that stuff with my dad in a long time. Not because it hurts or anything. I mean, I just saw him a couple weeks ago. It's just personal. Something that's mine as much as a secret identity. It helped turn me into who I am. But for some reason, I felt like I could talk about it with you, and you'd understand. Like we...
Oh, here it is, chat. Play Steins Gate. No, I don't play Weep Trash. I say as I'm playing multiple JRPGs on my personal stream. Alright, so this is it. I'm guessing by how everyone's reception to Kate was in the past couple of streams, I am not gonna need, chat to jump in on this, but
Like we have something special.
yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You can thank me for the gifts now.
Solicitation is a crime, ma'am. Let's go all in. Mwah. I smile but say nothing. Instead, I slip a hand around her waist and gently urge her closer. Her lips part, her breath catches, and something sparks behind those russet eyes. We're gonna get to third base with Kate. What little distance remains, we close together, and our lips meet in the middle. My eyes shut as I revel in the feeling. It's magnetic, like there's a jolt of electricity running through us that's pulling our bodies together. We couldn't fight it if we wanted to. Even as my eyes open and we pull apart, I can feel its aftershock still pulsing through me.
How's that for a thank you?
It's a start.
Once more, that magnetic energy begins to pull us together.
Oh, wait.
Suddenly, Victoria stops, pressing her hand against my chest and shaking her head.
Whew. Okay, all right. Just, give me a second.
What, we go a bit too quickly? Did we come on strong?
Actually, a little more than a second. Sorry.
Victoria gently pushes herself back and I let her go, my hand falling to my side.
Oh, sure. Of course.
Victoria steps away and we both take a deep breath. Shit, did I screw this up?
All right. Okay. That was... wow. More than I expected.
Sorry, my bad. I just felt something and...
No, I felt it too. I wanted that. I still want it.
Okay, we didn't screw up, thank God. She closes her eyes and takes another breath. When her eyes open, there's a look there that I recognize. That patented shining nova resolve.
But for someone like me, my life isn't just about what I want. It hasn't been for years, and it may never be again. So I have to be careful about this kind of thing. I can't just jump in. And that's not me making it an excuse, it's just... well, it's just how my life is. It's how I am. I need to pause and evaluate.
Right, that does sound like you when you say it like that. Not that you'd ever know from your carefree, impulsive lifestyle. Seriously though, it's cool. I can pause for as long as you need. I'll even have a recap ready for when you get back.
Yeah, clip show.
It won't be that long, I promise. This isn't me stopping anything. Like I said, it's a start. I want this.
She grins mischievously and folds her hands behind her back, reluctantly sliding further away.
But for tonight, why don't you try getting the hang of that gauntlet while I go prep for tomorrow? Okay?
Okay.
I wave the gauntlet around a little and shrug.
I guess some practice would be good. I'd rather not blast my face off with this thing.
I'd rather you didn't either. That would definitely affect our evaluation.
Yeah, it will make kissing you very gross. By now, Victoria has backed up all the way to the door to her bedroom. She reaches for the handle.
Victoria, I wanted to.
She smirks.
I know. Good night, Stan.
I was the one that initiated it, so yeah, no shit. With that, she steps into her room and closes the door. I take a deep breath and rub my temple. Damn, she is something. I shake my head to get rid of the butterflies. Ball's in her court now. I just need to give her some space. And maybe figure out how to use this gift of hers while I'm at it. Come on, Stan, pull it together. You have all night to dream. Right now, you should get to work. And work I did, practicing my aim and wielding the gauntlet shield until late into the night. Under normal circumstances, I probably wouldn't stay up so late. But the conversation I had with Victoria just keeps playing over and over in my head. Even after such a long day, her words and her smile power me forward with an energy I didn't know I had. I've got to get this right. For her. I don't bother checking the time when I finally collapse back on the couch, but before I can set an alarm, I'm fast asleep. That was a nice little romantic scene. That was cute, wasn't it?